Okay guys, you're back here with Taylor, owner-operator of Hedges Made Beautiful. We're just going to go over a couple things today about estimating, assessing your hedge, and some safety tips on how to work in and around your hedges without getting hurt or harmed. So we're back here at a property in Braeside, Ontario, in the home of the valley, and we're working on a hedge. This hedge is this is the second year we've done this property, so the hedge is in fairly good condition. As you can see, we got a little bit of growth on the top. That's a healthy 1 year growth. Up there, you're looking at about 8 inches. Some spots here up to 12 inches, which is perfect. That's what you're looking for. There's no burns on this hedge. We did it last year. We cut it down, trimmed it right down, and we're looking good. So our steps and our template for doing hedges is working great. So yeah, we'll continue. And we're gonna go over the steps on assessing your hedge for pricing and for safety. So when you first get to a hedge, you're with a client and you're going over your hedge, you're about to get your estimate. Usually I like to stick between $2 a linear foot, between $2 and $5 a linear foot, depending on the hedge. And what I mean by that is, if you're working on uneven ground, you know, your job's going to be a lot harder. If you got power lines in through the hedge on a higher hedge, that's a danger factor. You know, you're going to have to price accordingly. If you got cable wires running through, if you have trees growing inside the hedge like Manitoba maples, or you have vines coming in through the hedge, it's going to take you extra time. You're going to have to go down into the hedge and cut those things right out from the bottom. If not, after you trim your hedge, within a couple weeks, the tree's going to start popping out of the top everywhere, and your hedge is going to look horrible for the rest of the summer, and it's just not a good taste to leave in the client's mouth. The best thing to do is to get down in there, cut those trees out right from the bottom, pull them out through the top. Any vines, anything like that, find where they're coming from the bottom, cut them right out of there, get them gone. So yeah, so another thing we ran into yesterday, my mentor Roger Day from Cedar Hedge always told me, when you first get to a hedge, when you're walking by the hedge, take your rake, go like this, hit your hedge all around. You're looking for bees' nests. Yesterday I came here, I started this hedge, I got all the way around to the back to the front side. I'm trimming my hedge like normal, everything's okay. Boom, hit a bee's nest, bees everywhere. Not a good thing. It's a hedger's worst nightmare. We'll show you a video later on. Me and my dad had to come out here and take care of this bee's nest. So yeah, that's something you're gonna wanna watch for. We can give you some tips on how to remove bee's nest, but I'm not a pro at removing bees. You know, another thing is too, you might not be allergic to one type of bee and be allergic to a different type of bee. So you never know until you're stung, and it's not a good situation. I had to bring a guy to the hospital. He had an attack, I don't know what it's called, allergic reaction. He wasn't allergic to bees, but he got stung by a mud bee. This wasn't good. So you guys out there, you better go around. Even if you did the hedge the year before, you go around with a rake, make sure that there's no bee's nest. Yeah, so that's basically it for the safety tips. If you're on uneven ground, you're going to want to bring some planks, some 2x6, different lengths, you know, to prop your ladders up, get you stable before you get to the top of your hedge. Watch out for power lines, watch out for bees' nests. Back here again, and we're just going to run you through the 4 basic steps, my template of cutting a hedge. So what I've done here, I'm 3/4 of the way done my hedge. I've come in, I've made my bottom 45 cut into the hedge, like this with my trimmer. Gives me a nice clean finish on the bottom. Then what I do is I'll come to the top and I'll make a 45 into the top of the hedge. So this is your 45 going this way here, into the top of the hedge. It's slanted into the hedge. Then what I'll do is my next round on the hedge, I'll come in and I'll shave the hedge down perfectly up into those 45s. Get your middle flat as can be. And then from there, once that's done all the way around, I'll come to the top and we'll work my top. Work my top and get it as flat as you can. Now there's tricks to that, but you're gonna have to develop those skills on your own as you go. Then another trick too, once you have your top done, your hedge is completely done. Well, for me, that's not really good enough because there's little ingrown branches that grow, like cedar hedges. Sometimes they'll curl into the hedge. So what happens is you go over your hedge your first time, your top's done, everything looks good for now, but 2 days later, storm comes, there's heavy winds, boom, you have all these tickety-boos popping out everywhere. It looks horrible. So what do? Solve that. After your hedge is done, the fifth and final step that you do is you come along with a rake again, and you just lightly tap your hedge. Tap your hedge like this, and you'll see them. They'll just slightly pop out, or they'll slightly pop out the top or the sides, little ones like that. You can come take a look at down the side of your hedge. You should always be checking your hedge. And once you've went around with your rake, you'll see the little spots. Just come back with your trimmer. It might take you an extra, 15, 20 minutes, and just get those little branches, those ingrown branches that have popped out. And if you do follow all those steps, your property owners should be really happy, and your hedges should hold. Your final trim on your hedge should hold, and people will be impressed in your work, and you'll have done a good job. So that's it for today. We're going to include some videos of me and my dad trying to remove this bee's nest. It's hilarious, but we did our best, and we're here to get the job done. So thanks again, everybody. That's it for today. We're going to wrap it up. So as you can see, we got everything looking really well. Everything's flat, everything's symmetrical, and we did it without getting stung. So everybody keep it safe out there, and if you guys are striving to be the best, then you pay attention to detail. Little things like after you're done, rake your tops off, hit everything with a rake, get rid of those little tickety-boos that stick out, and clean up after yourself. Brush everything down, blow it off with a leaf blower, and keep everything looking really nice. People will appreciate the little things that you do, and the particulars that you do, and the attention to detail. Like people really appreciate that stuff. So if you guys want to be number one and be on the top, then pay attention and to the details. Thank you very much, and have a nice day.